How to make a music. This is going to be a comprehensive guide on how you, with no software, equipment, training, background, brain power, or effort, can make a music. Let's get this started. Part 1. This is a note. A note is air that wiggles its way into your ear and makes it feel groovy. The air can wiggle in lots of ways like this, or this. The wigglier it is, the funkier it sounds. Part 2. Beepbox Dot Co. Open your internet browser and go to Beepbox Dot Co. Don't sign in, don't give it your credit card information, don't click yes to sign up for its mailing list. Just start using this awesome tool to make your very own 1A music. Part 3. Making a note. Click anywhere here to make a note. This is called the piano roll because of reasons that don't matter. Drag on the end of a note to change its length. If you didn't like that note, just click it again to banish it forever. If you want to hear your note, press play or hit space. And there you have it. You can now make a music. Oh, wait, what? You want me to walk you through how to actually make a music? Like, step by step? Fine, I got nothing else better to do. Part 4. Music theory. No, wait, come back, it's not boring, I swear. So, you've got a note. 2 notes make a harmony, 3 or more make a chord. Chords are the backup tracks, notes make melodies, harmonies spice things up. Oh, and we probably should also talk about this stuff over here on the side. Part 5. Oh god, why so many controls? Okay, so deep breath in. This is where you set your scale. A scale is all the notes you'll have access to when making a music. If you stay in the scale, that is, only using the notes in the scale, your a music won't sound gross and yucky, probably. Stick to normal happy or normal sad for now. When you feel comfortable, you can get crazy with the other scales. Below that is the key. It defaults to C. Just stick with C. You can change it later. All that does is make your a music higher or lower in pitch. I did not explain pitch. Pitch is, it's how fast the wiggles in your ears are, and if they're faster, they sound more hee-hee, and if they're slower, they sound okay, got it, good, moving on. Temp or tempo is how fast your song is, also sometimes called BPM, which stands for beats per minute. Oh, yeah, a beat is one of these little divisions. So, this is 104 BPM, or about how fast you should pump if you're doing CPR. The only other thing you really need to worry about is the instrument setting over here. This is actually a really powerful synthesizer. Synthesizer is just, a fake electronic instrument that can pretend to be other kinds of instruments. But I'm bad at using it, so what I usually do is just pick a random preset, or I just keep hitting this button to make a random instrument until I like what I hear. Oh, yeah, let's do a little more setup on making things easier to use. Part 6. Settings. I swear to God, we are so close to writing a music. So just go into the preferences and turn on all these suckers if they aren't already on. They make your life easier in the long run. Okay, let's make a music. Part 7. Let's make a music. Step 1. Let's make a chord. Okay, music theory, again, don't worry, it's a quickie. The first note you place down on a chord is called the root. This is where the chord gets its name. It's kind of like the flavor of the chord. Then you can really place any other notes on top of it to make whatever sick-nast chords you want, but we're gonna stick with two simple but effective types. From the root, count up 4 semitones. Oh my god, I forgot to explain what a semitone is! Stuck in music theory weeds! Okay, so see here, I've changed over to expert mode to show you all the possible notes on the piano. Well, going one of these little bars up is going up a semitone, and going up 2 semitones is called a whole tone. Why? Don't know, don't care, don't need to know or care. Okay, back to the chord stuff. So going up 4, place a note, and then go up 3 more and place a note, and ta-da! It's a major chord. It sounds happy. Switch that around, so you're going up 3 first and then 4, and it's a minor chord. It sounds sad, or sinister. I'm not your dad. Make up your own mind. So, just make a few of those chords, and boom! You've got a chord progression. Just maybe stick to like 2 to 4 chords in your progression, spaced out kinda evenly. Don't worry, you can get crazy with it later. And here are some sample chord progressions I prepared earlier. From here, we can move on to making a melody. Step 2, melody. Select a new track. Oh, yeah, okay, so these different bars down here are the tracks, so just pick a different one. Maybe fiddle with the instrument settings to get it sounding groovy. Yeah, like that. Okay, so here we're going to place single notes that sound good over top of our chord progression. Notice that our chord progression is kind of like a ghost in the background, so we can see what notes we already used. If we drag the bar on the side over there, up and down, we can change how high our notes are overall. Chord should kinda sit in the middle of everything, melody should be on top of everything, and later we'll add bass underneath everything. This will give us a nice full sound. Now, just so this doesn't get too repetitive, we're going to add more melody. So click on the next bar over down on the track and set it to the number 2. Or you can just press 2 on the keyboard. Now, either write new notes from scratch, or go back to track 1, press C to copy all the notes, not Control C, just C, and then go back to 2 and press V to paste them. Again, not Control V, just V. Then just switch it up a little, make some changes, and boom! Extended melody. Do this as much as you like to stretch out your song as far as you need to. Okay, let's do the bass line next. Step 3.
Bass.
It's the exact same as melody, but even simpler. See the lowest parts of the chords? Basically, all you want to do is reinforce them with a bit of rhythm. You can also help transition between chords by playing notes in anticipation of them, or by holding them and then transitioning later. Not only that, but you can bounce around a little bit by either hitting notes an octave higher, same note just 12 semitones up, or a fifth higher, 7 semitones. Yes, I know those numbers and the names are confusing. I told you, the naming conventions are dumb and stupid and not to be listened to. Trust me, it just makes for good ear feels, alright? Okay. With a bass line, you don't want to be too complex, unless you're like Geddy Lee or Nobuo Uematsu, in which case, please like, comment, and subscribe. So you can probably get away with using only 1 variation, maybe 2 if you really feel spicy.
Step 4. The drums.
Okay, so the drums act a little bit differently than the other tracks, as you can see. You're going to want to keep this pretty simple. There are two styles of drums that I use. One is the basic drum kit, which sounds kinda lame, and the other is a retro Game Boy-like noise sound, which also sucks, but hey, they both get the job done. A drum beat is basically anything that repeats. A drum beat is basically anything that repeats. A drum beat is basically anything that repeats. So don't feel like you need to get crazy wild with it. Just play around with it until you get something sounding okay-ish. Again, this is really a feel it out process.
Step 5. Arranging your music.
So now that all the hard work of making a music is done, you just gotta set it up so it doesn't blast your ears all at once. Down on the track editor, try and introduce each part of the music one at a time. Lead with the chords, then the drums, then the bass, and then finally bring in the melody. That purple bar there is where the loop is, so once you've got all the parts playing together, just drag that to make sure it's over that part of the track. And ta-da!
A finished music. Part bonus round. Making things even better.
These are just tips and tricks to add to your finished
music.
to really beef it up a notch. That is a weird mixed metaphor. I am so sorry. You can make funkier, fuller sounding chords by changing the notes in them to be an octave higher or lower, just like we did with the bass line. Add in an intro to each part. The simplest way that I know how to do this is just add in a note that slowly builds up in volume or lead into the first one being played. To do that, just click above the track and drag down to make a little triangle thingy happen, like on the drum track. This also works for the drums. You just gotta do it on both ends to reverse them. This also works on the drums. You can make some cool variations with this. Another way to lengthen your song is, if you've got enough different melody sections, just play around with the order that you have them in and extend how long the loop is. You can add more instrument tracks by going to Edit, Channel Settings, Pitch Channels. You can also add more drums if you want to get crazy with it. Remember what I said about harmony spicing things up? Copy over your melody into a new instrument, and then use plus or minus on the keyboard to shift the notes up or down and create a harmony. Or try adding notes to the same channel if you want. Again, to reiterate, I'm not your dad. Do what you want, sport. Champ. Busteroo. can make notes slide. Just click on a note and drag it midway through. Note, the controls on this are finicky at best, and I kind of hate it. Hover over these to learn more about what all the settings for the instruments do and how you can totally mess around and make your own custom sounds. Oh, and one other quality of life thing is, these little brackets here, or these braces. Or, they're not parentheses, I know that for sure. Anyways, that's how you can move where your playhead is. It's a little bit useful. And that's it. I've way run out of stuff to say. Now, go out there and
Make a music!
I can't believe I forgot to tell you guys how you can export your songs. 1, the URL up top holds all the data of your song, so you can just paste that into a tiny URL thing and share that link on Twitter or whatever you want. 2, if you go to File, you can either view in Song Player, which pops up this nice looking little song player so you can see your pretty piano roll, or you can just export your song as a WAV or as a MIDI file to use in other, more expensive and fancy and robust programs. And the little sections here are your intro is everything before the purple bar, which only plays once. Then it's how many times through the loop you want it. And if you have anything after the loop, that will be your outro. And that's it. Now you are finally ready to go and share your music.